Hello, this is Shawn West again, and we're going to start to work on our third and final installment of tying in a Dahlberg Diver. So the first thing I got to do is be able to see my eye or my hook point, and right now I can't see it. So what I'm going to do is take my scissors and just do a bunch of rough cuts on the belly so I can see what I'm doing. Okay, I don't know if you can see that or not, but I can see the hook eye now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a double-edged razor blade. I use one blade for one fly. So what I'm going to do is grab all the tail, and I'm going to make a flat cut along the belly. And I'd like to go about a hook eye's length, if I can, above the hook shank. And there's our first cut, and as you can see there's no gap, so I'm going to have to work on that a little bit. Usually I have a habit of slicing upwards, so now I'm going to slice this way and get some more access to that hook point. And this is where I usually slice the weed guard, but because I glued it, that should be a non-issue. Alright, so it's going to need some more adjustment, but it's good enough for right now. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a look at it from the bottom, and I'm going to make the bullet head cuts. So I start at the eye of the hook, and I work my way back. I could always remove more, but I can't add it. And the reason I do this side first is because I'm right-handed and it's easier for me to match this side to this side than vice versa. And I already tell I'm going to have to take off a little bit more on this side. There we go, let's try that. Now I'm going to do the other side here. And again, at the hook eye, and I'll try to get it to where you can see what I'm doing, hopefully. So now I have a bullet head going there. I'm going to look and see if they're fairly even, and right now they look pretty good. So now I'm going to work on the actual head here. So what I'm going to do, okay, just trying to make sure you guys can see. This is a hard fly to do on camera if you ask me. I'm going to go all the way to the black. You know, we got white, yellow, black, olive. So I'm going to go to this second dot of black. And what I'm doing, I just kind of pluck it when I get close. Okay, right now that nose is way too steep. I don't know if you might be able to see it better on this side, but I'm going to adjust that angle. I'm going to shorten it a wee bit, going right at the eye. And I'll just keep going at it until I'm happy. You know, you're better off going slow and taking your time and doing it right, because once you mess up, you're not going to be able to add any more hair to this fly. I don't know why you'd wanna. So now I got a general shape there, okay? Let me turn off on his belly so you can see it. There we go. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take a set of curved scissors. I'm going to remove these individual blacks that are on this collar, okay? So bear with me here. And this is when it's nice to be outside. You got that extra light. There's lots of black still in here. But I don't want to be slicing off all the yellow either, so I got to be very careful. This scissors has a blem in it. It's got a little bit of a hook. And so what I do is I use that hook to pick out individual hairs so I can slice them out. Okay, I don't want to spend all day on this. I can fix whatever I don't like later on. So, I'm still not happy with the shape of this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it in the vise and do some trimming on the, with it in the vise. Put this in there. And his belly needs a little bit more of a haircut too. But we'll take care of all that. Okay, we're going to zoom in just a little bit here, I think, so you can see what's going on. Oh, that's not zoom. There you go. Okay, so the head's getting there. I'm still not quite happy with it yet, but this is still all coarse work as far as I'm concerned. But what I am going to do is work on this on the belly here a little bit, because I can definitely go a lot shorter than what I got in there right now. And one of the reasons that you can't be dainty with your thread is because if you do get dainty, what's going to happen is you're going to slice your thread and then your fly is ruined. So if you pull tight, you're not going to slice your thread, ruin your fly. What I'm doing here is I'm just softening this edges right here and right here. I've got a lot of hair on this fly. Okay, now I've been using the side of the blade with the writing on it, well, with the name brand. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to flip it over, because this portion of the razor blade I haven't used yet. And I'm going to go do our fine work now. Now as far as the angle that you want on his head, it's really up to you. The steeper the angle, the more it's going to dive. You know, it's going to be a steeper dive. A shallower angle is going to be a shallower dive. So, you know, one of the nice things about doing your own flies like this is that you can make a bunch with you know, with a steep cone on it, and you can make a bunch of other ones that aren't steep, and you can experiment and see what the fish in your area likes, you know. Okay, what I'm doing right now, if you're wondering, and you notice I'm not taking a whole lot off, is I'm just knocking out those flat edges. That looks, well, I thought it looked pretty good. I'm not so sure I like that, so we're going to trim it a little bit more. Okay. I'm just pulling everything in towards the hook eye so I can knock out these little bumps. And as you can see, I'm not going to get rich anytime soon by tying these flies, because they take me too long to do. But they'll hunt. I can guarantee that. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to adjust my collar length. So I'll take this out of the vise again. And what I'm going to do, hopefully this will show up, is that I got all these natural tips. I want to grab as many of those as I can and pull them back out of the way, like so. Okay, then I'll take my curved scissors and I'll start trimming my collar. The secret to the collar is to kind of make it the same length all the way around. And again, I'm under the mindset of I can do slow and do it the way, I'm sorry, I'm way out camera, I apologize about that. Or I can do it fast and screw it up. So I'll take a little bit off at a time, and then I can start to balance it. So, like if you look right here, there's hair that is going down. I'm going to level that off. Well, there we go. Now it's looking familiar. And again, I got some on the other side too. We're going to knock that down. I still have some black hairs in here. I'm going to try to knock those out because it'll look better without those in it. Fish can care less about that, but it's something that maybe a nitpicker, it'll drive me nuts if I don't finish it the way I want it to look. But that being said, you really need to know when to say when. Okay? So, let's see what we got here. Got a few butts there. We gotta get out of the way. Okay. I'm trying to knock out these little black hairs that are in there. Alright, now then, this collar is all jagged, okay, so I got to work on that a little bit. So, usually where I have problems at is the area that I call the, no, I don't remember what I called it, where it goes from here and then it goes down here. That's where I have an issue with, like a little bit long right there. So we'll come in here, and I'm not taking a lot off, just enough. I'm going to measure it, make sure that from here to here and from here to here it is about the same size, you know, the same length. That looks pretty good. And I'm still going to work on that belly a little bit, and I can see I got a little bit right here I got to take care of. Yeah, when I first started with this thing, I'd have like a size 10 hook here, but by the time I got done, I'd have a Dahlberg head or deer hair head that was 14. So, you know, like I say, you just gotta know when to say when. So, you know what? This is good enough. I am gonna work on this belly just a little bit more. When you're doing the belly, if you feel any resistance, stop, because that's probably your thread and you're about to slice through it. How do I know that? I read it in a book somewhere. Actually, I've ruined more flies because of that. And I probably don't have to have it so close to the hook shank, but it's just how I am, you know. Okay, I gotta look at this out to the sun here, so give me a second. What I'm going to be looking at again is the belly, and is it even on this side to this side? So let me go take a quick look. And I could use a little bit off on this side a little bit. Okay, I think that is good enough for now. So what we're going to do is put it back in the vise. One thing that you don't want to do is put the weed guard inside with this, because I find with this vise at least that it smashes the weed guard, and then you have a flat spot that you don't really need, or a hinge for lack of a better word. So I'm going to put this outside of the fly. Now then, I'm going to use a piece of plastic. See if we get this. There we go. This is just a little hunk of plastic here. I'm going to poke a hole in the center of it with my my bodkin. Maybe I should zoom this in a little bit. We'll see. Here we go. There. Okay. Now then, again, I crowded this head a little bit, but we'll figure it out, I hope. Otherwise I'll look like a real fool. Okay, so now I'm going to put this little square right over the hook shank, you know, that hole that I put in there. Now that's on there like that. It's not going anywhere. I'm going to take a 6/0 white. The reason I'm using the white is because I like to match the tie off with the belly color. Does it really matter? Probably not, but that's what I'm going to do. So I got this all set to go. I'm going to clean up just a little bit here real quick. Alright, now then, I'm going to take the fugly packer and I'm going to pack this as tight as I can. And there ain't a lot there, so I'm going to grab the plastic and hold it taut. Then I'm going to put my white thread on there. About a dozen or so wraps. Going to switch to my sharp scissors. Alright, so now then, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this through here, and I should have done this before, actually. So doom on me. That's about where I'm going to want it. So I'm going to bend it and pull it tight. I'm going to grab some smooth jaw pliers and just bend it, or squish my mono. There it is. It reduces the bulk, and it's easier to tie flat than it is to tie it round. So I'm going to make about 8 to 10 wraps. I'm not counting, but that's what I'm thinking. Then I'm going to pull this down. Okay. I need to put one more little pinch in there, because otherwise it's going to be a bit too long, and I don't want that. Let's try that. I still think it's still too long. It's just like slicing out the deer hair. You don't want to take it off too much too fast. There we go. I think that's going to be just right. Pull it taut. Right, like so. Then I'll take my dikes, and I'm going to snip this off about as long as the hook eye. That may be a bit too long, but we'll work with it. Okay, I'm going to pinch this thing down. Make a couple wraps. 1, 2, and now I'm going to wrap it and secure it in place. And I'm trying to keep all my wraps right up against that deer hair. Then we'll take our whip finishing tool and whip finish this off. And I always do a double whip finish when I can. I don't like that. There we go. Again, it's all up against the plastic. Okay, we'll snip off our thread. And then we are going to snip off our plastic. We just come in here at the top and skewer it. And there we go. Got to put a little bit of glue on my thread wraps. Boy, that one, oh, grabbed the wrong one. Okay, I'm a little bit clogged up here, so I gotta. There we go. Now we should be good. Now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pull it out from the vise, and I'm going to bend this. If you can see this. Let's see, there we are. That thing is way off. The weedguard is way off. So I'm going to adjust it. Because I want the weedguard to go right over that hook. Sidetracked a little bit there, sorry. But now you should be able to see that that weedguard is right over the hook and going towards the eye. So, with that out of the way, I'm just going to fix up. It's a little high right here. So I'm just going to trim that just a little bit. There we go. And I'm not taking a whole lot off, just shaving it down. Yeah, that's right. I call this the transitional area of the thing. Don't know why I call it that, it just is. So, this is almost done. So now what we got to do is glue some eyes on. And then I'm going to use some Soleras on the belly of this thing to act as a keel. So give me a second here, because one thing I don't like to do is have deer hair all over my desk when I'm trying to glue. I don't like the contamination. So let me put away most of these tools I'm not going to be using. I'm heating up a wood burning iron, because here at home I like to use the wood burner. When I'm at a show, then I use the cauterizer tool. Okay, we got most of that hair out of the way. Got my eyes right here. I'm going to be using a 4.5 millimeter solid plastic eye. These are the ones that actually have the stem in them. And I'm going to move this out of the way too, I think. So, this is the wood burning tool. I'm just going to kind of get off all the burnt hair I did from my last batch. Okay, so now then, what we're going to do, and I usually like to pick the off side of the fly, and I'm just going to find a spot where I want my eye to be, and I'm just going to burn a socket. Like so. Now, if I were to just glue my eye in right now, it's going to fall out, because that we really need to scrape out all that burnt hair. So I'm preparing my glue bottle, and I gotta find my goop. There it is. Okay, the glue I'm using is a combination of this goop and some tiling. And you can start off with like a 50-50 mixture and just add, you know, the tiling if you want it thinner, or you can add more goop if you want it thicker. So with all this in mind, I'm taking about, let's see if I can get it so that you can see it. I doubt it. Anyway, I'm going to scrape out all that burnt hair. Now, in general, when I'm tying either a popper or Dahlberg Diver, you can see it's all scraped out now. For the eye size, if I'm using a size 10, I use a 4.5 millimeter eye. I don't know if you can. No, you can't see that. Sorry. I put a dab of glue in the eye socket, and I'm just gonna work it in with the box. I'm just kind of sticking it, you know. Poke, 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 poke. Then we're going to get our goop, and you don't need a lot of this goop, okay? Usually less is better. That may be a bit much. There we go. Well, I'm going to try it anyways. Let me close up the lid. Take one of my eyes. There we are. Helps keep it on screen, huh? Sorry about that, guys and gals. That's what you get. That looks really cool, I think. So now I'm going to do the same thing on the other side, but I can use the first eye as a reference. So I gotta go right about there, okay? Okay. And I'm gonna scrape out all the burnt hair on this one. Okay, then I'm going to use my my mixture of goop and tiling. I'm just going to stab it to work it in a little bit. I don't even know if you have to do this step. I consider it a primer, and I've been doing this for over 30 years, so that's just how I do it. It doesn't mean you gotta do it that way. But my eyes rarely, if ever pop out. Again, it isn't a huge clump of glue. Put that in socket. Alright, take our eye. Making sure that they're pretty well balanced as far as positioning the eyes. Can't really tell on the bottom part, but they're pretty good. So I got one more thing I've got to do with this thing, and then we're done. So let me get my glue out of the way. I'm going to take some Solares, and this is the flex. Okay, so it means it is flexible. You don't want to use the hard, because it defeats the purpose of doing a deer hair fly. You know, if I want it to be hard, I would just use balsa or foam. So what I'm going to do, hopefully I can get this on screen too. There we go. I'm just going to make a little dot, a line going down the center. Don't know if that is coming up around, and then I'm just going to spread it out. Okay, and I'm going to hit it with my UV light. Now, what I'm going to do after I'm done here is I'm going to put it on the windowsill and let the sun bake it in 100%. But that's our Dahlberg Diver. And you see there's still some black lines in there. I'll probably knock those out off camera because I'll be here for another hour. But there's your Dahlberg Diver. I hope you like it. I hope you learned something. If you'd like me to do something else, let me know. I'm more than happy to do it. And and Ricky, for you lighting a fire